NDP not anxious for 2013 election and can work with new Liberal leader Premier. Good afternoon. It is currently minus 10 degrees outside. I'm Mo Dubray with CRFM News, brought to you by the Canadore College Journalism Program. New Democrats say they're not pushing for an election in 2013 and are prepared to work with whomever becomes the next Liberal leader and Premier of Ontario. While the Liberals are engaged in their leadership contest, the Progressive Conservatives have released a series of policy ideas such as privatizing lotteries, casinos, and liquor sales. NDP leader Andrea Horwath said that she's not clamoring for an election and wants to find ways of working with the next Liberal leader who will be selected in January. Horwath joked that if she could strike budget deals with Dalton McGuinty, then she can work with anybody. Most political observers believe Ontario will be plunged into an election campaign just months after the Liberals pick a new premier, which is why the Tories are putting out the policy ideas now to show how they would differ from the government. But Horwath said that she'll let others draw up election plans while she consults with voters on the tough choices she says will be needed to eliminate a $14.4 billion defect without slashing core services. Justin Trudeau is brushing off criticism about his upcoming keynote speech at an Islamic convention. His appearance at the Reviving the Islamic Spirit event later this month has been attacked by an anti-Islamic website, and those complaints have been picked up by some mainstream media outlets. The critics have raised concerns about radical views of the alleged affiliation of all other speakers at the event later this month. They have also pointed to alleged ties between major conference sponsors and the Islamic militant group Hamas. Trudeau is making no apologies for his appearance. When asked at a news conference this week about the controversy, Trudeau says he doesn't share the critics' concerns and he accuses them of trafficking in misinformation. The crowning spire of what will be the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere has arrived in New York City. A barge brought pieces of the steel spire for the 104-story World Trade Center building on Tuesday. The spire is expected to be in place by spring. The Trade Center's Director of Construction, Stephen Plate, says the 540-meter-tall high-rise symbolizes the year the U.S. declared its freedom. It'll be the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. And in sports, Canadians Kyle Becker, Emery Welshman, and Kofi O'Pair were among the 54 NCAA seniors invited to the 2013 Major League Soccer Combine. Becker, a midfielder at Boston College and native of Oakville, Ontario, made the All-ACC first team for the second consecutive year and finished this past season tied for the team lead with 4 assists. He also helped Canada reach the semifinals at the 2012 CONCACAF Olympic qualifying tournament last March. Starting 2 of the 3 games in a group play plus a semifinal versus Mexico. Welshman, a Mississauga, Ontario native, was the second leading scorer in a Pac-12 for Oregon State University with 10 goals and earned first-team all-conference honors for a second year in a row. O'Pair, a defender from Niagara Falls, Ontario, helped guide a University of Michigan back line that surrendered 1.15 goals per match. All 54 players will be eligible for selection in 2013 Super Draft on January 17th in Indianapolis. The players will be divided into 4 squads and will play matches on January 11th, January 13th, and January 15th. The draft comprises of 2 rounds and 38 overall selections. The NHL and the NHL Players Association will resume their collective bargaining negotiations at an undisclosed location Wednesday, and they'll have some company. U.S. federal mediators Scott L. Beckenbaugh and John Sweeney are set to rejoin the process. It will be the first meeting since the 2 sides took public shots at each other after talks went off the rails last week. Prior to the blow-up, they appeared to be making progress during 3 days in New York that saw an exchange of proposals. Donald Fair, the NAHLFA's executive director, maintains they have an agreement on almost all of the important issues. It is currently day 87 of the lockout. And in local weather, it is currently minus 10 degrees outside. Tonight we will get hit with a few flurries at minus 8. Moving on to tomorrow, you can expect scattered flurries at minus 3. And on Thursday, we will be experiencing some rain and snow at 1 degrees. That is the news for today. Thank you for listening. For CFRM News, I'm Mo Dubray.